Some new reports hint that the iPhone 12 might bring some crazy internals, starting with the processor. We have a full list of camera sensors and the specifications of the Galaxy S20 lineup, and we get some more renders of the Huawei P40 line, this time for the Pro variant. I'm Jaime Rivera, and for today's magic trick, I'm going to pretend like if today's actually Friday instead of Thursday and celebrate today. This is Pocketnow Daily. Yes, I know, it's still not launch time for the Galaxy S20, but you know that that's only a better excuse for us to get early deals, and such is the case with the current Galaxy S line. If you're in the market for the regular unlocked Galaxy S10 with the US warranty, that'll cost you $850, which is $50 off, but if you don't care about the warranty, you can get it for as low as $628, and then the S10 Plus is also $200 off, leaving it at $796 shipped, and if you want the Galaxy Buds, those are $30 off, leaving them at $99. You can learn more about everything in the description. I'd go for the S10 Plus and those Galaxy Buds. Now let's talk about OnePlus and, well, what to expect for the company's next OnePlus 8, I guess, is going to be the name. Thing about it is Pete Lau was very clear. He's not a fan of foldables. And then again, we saw the Concept One back at CES. So the thing about it is what to expect. And, well, he just posted a teaser on Twitter that shows us that 120 Hz display being compared to a regular 60 Hz display. Obviously, there's also a slow motion test, which makes a lot of sense. You can see a lot more choppiness and everything. You can see the smoothness. Definitely not a huge difference from a scrolling perspective, but there are other scenarios where it will come in handy, so stay tuned for that. Now let's move the spotlight over to Huawei, and particularly what to expect from that company's foldables, particularly that Mate, I don't know, what should we call it, the Mate Xs, the Mate XS? XS, I believe it will be. Thing about it is we heard that we should expect it sometime in Q1. Some changes we're expecting, according to the reports, include changes to the hinge and the durability improvements at Kirin 990 with 5G support, and the device will also be smaller but maintain the same display size. Probably the most important rumor is that it will be cheaper than the original Mate X. There's also some rumors about another Huawei foldable in the works that would be sort of like the Moto Razr foldable. The thing about it is we have no time frame for that, but we're close to MWC, which is where we saw the original Mate X, so we'll see. Now, since we're talking Huawei, yesterday we covered some leaks of what to expect for the design of the Huawei P40 series, particularly that P40, but we didn't know what to expect for the Pro. Now we get some new renders showing off the colors and the bottom of the P40 Pro. At the bottom we see a USB-C port, no headphone jack, and the speakers. Now this variant packs triple cameras as well apparently, but we do see the periscopic zoom lens along with the time of flight sensor at the right. The color variants include black, blush gold, silver frost, deep sea blue, and ice white. Whatever happened to the red? Anyways, we should expect this around March, we hope. And since we're talking cameras, let's also discuss what to expect for the cameras on the Galaxy S20 lineup, as we've got more details depending on which variant. Apparently, the regular S20 will bring a 12 megapixel main sensor, a 64 megapixel zoom lens, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and no time of flight. The S20 Plus will bring the same sensors, but add that time of flight sensor. But finally, the S20 Ultra is where it will be. Apparently, 108 megapixel main sensor, 48 megapixel zoom lens, 44 megapixel ultra wide, and yeah, the time of flight as the cherry topper. Now the other interesting twist is the selfie shooters. Apparently all three phones are going to bring in a 108 megapixel selfie camera. That's going to be insane. Let's see if it happens. But finally, the hottest news today have to do with Apple. And notice, because of the whole topic of the cameras on the Galaxy S20, I was like, my God, this is the hottest news. But that was until we started hearing about the possibilities of what to expect for the processor of the iPhone. I don't know, 12 or whatever the name is going to be. But before we get to that, let's talk about other improvements, like for example, Face ID. We don't get specifics as to how it's going to improve, but apparently that is going to get improvement like we do year over year. The report also says that there will be a 3D sensing time of flight sensor at the back camera as well. Now, probably the most important separate report is what to expect for that A14 chip, which we don't know if we're going to call Bionic. Apparently, this is going to be the 5 nanometer process. And the report claims that these iPhones will now bring 5G, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and this 5 nanometer processor will make it even more powerful than the 15-inch MacBook Pro. So yeah, if you follow the rumors, we're talking of the next iPhones bringing 5G up to 6 gigabytes of RAM, but really this 5 nanometer chip is going to be major because if you do the math, right now the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 is 7 nanometers and then everything else is 7 nanometers. So yeah, If we get the 5nm process, in addition to some of the possible benchmarks that are being rumored, this thing could actually be the most powerful chip of the year. Let us know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you think that matters, or does it matter to you, the differences in the architecture? Because in my case, you know, for me it's great when they say, yeah, it's more powerful than the MacBook Pro, but then it still is a mobile chip, so it's not necessarily that much more powerful once you talk about other kinds of benchmarks. But anyways, leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me playing around with these gadgets. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.